the Silver Dasher.
Morning. It's Friday. Getting ready to start the morning dash. I hope it's way better than yesterday, especially the afternoon dash. That was horrible. So, all right, let's hopefully, keep your fingers crossed. It's a lot better today. So, let's go ahead and start the app. Maybe we get lucky. Oh, it did not ask me if I have a bag. So, all right, let's get the show on the road. Yeah, yesterday was weird. It's like every offer that I was given. Oh, look at there. Chick-fil-A.
Drive southeast, then.
And it's a high paid, low distance or short distance one. So yeah, that's a good start. So maybe we're gonna have maybe it's a good sign we have a better day. So I really need it. So yeah, I'm kind of for the week. I'm kind of behind on what I would like to make for the week. So I need a really good day today to do this. But good thing is it's night and raining. There's still some clouds, but it looks like it's going to be a very sunny day. I don't know if it's going to rain later, but right now things are looking good. So, here we go on our way to Chick-fil-A. So, see you in a little bit.
But I still keep going. Alright. See you like that.
Alright, thank you. You got straws?
No, I didn't.
Thank you. Gotta always check for the straws. Just delivered the first order to the local Ford dealership. They redid their one of their buildings, and it's they do custom work. You've seen people who buy like trucks and all that, and they can buy these custom options and all that. So this is and they also service the commercial vehicles there. So yeah, that business has grown. But yeah. So anyway, done with that. Now I'm gonna go back to home station, so to speak, and see if I can pick up another order here real quick. So anyway, at least we had a good start. Hopefully to pick up another one here real soon. So anyway, see you in a little bit. Well, I finally got another order. I kind of switched positions. I placed myself near Jack's and still sat here about 5-10 minutes and finally picked up an order from McDonald's. But this one's not too bad. At least the mileage is lower than the pay. So we'll continue. So it's on to McDonald's. See you in a little bit. Hey, enjoy your day. Well, on my way to the customer, but had a sobering experience with one of the employees of McDonald's. It's a lady that I've talked to many times, you know, because she always bags up our DoorDash orders. And the other day I asked her, you know, how long you work? She works from 6 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. And holy crap! Then I asked her today, well, how many days? She says, every day. She says, what got me? She said she was a victim of identity theft, and she's still paying the creditors from the identity theft. Holy crap. I told her, you know, no endorsement here, but, you know, I'm a retired engineer, software engineer, mainly in the banking business. I became a member of LifeLock a long time ago, and it's helped me a lot of times. In fact, when I've recently had to I'm financing my parents' house. The roof totally needs to be replaced, so I'm financing that. And I froze my credit report and all that, and so when I applied for financing, you know, I got warnings from LifeLock. Hey, so I manually, temporarily unfroze it so that I can qualify for the financing. So, anyway. Whew, man. What a day, what a day. So, anyway. Heading to the customer. See you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that McDonald's order. Very nice lady. She works in an industrial park. I've been to almost every business here except for this one. And her directions were very clear, except so the 10 and Break building. I think she meant brick, but I mentioned that. She says, oh yeah, because I did it for the directions through voice, you know, I've never done that before, so that voice thing that converted brick to break. But that's okay. As long as I got here and delivered, then that's fine. So, well, things are looking up. At least I hope they are. Just as I'm heading towards my secondary base, which is Jack's, got a Chick-fil-A order came in. And once again, the money is higher than the mileage. So maybe things are looking up. So anyway, here we are on our way to Chick-fil-A. See you in a little bit. You're welcome. Well, I just delivered that Chick-fil-A order, and it was a surprise. I delivered to a customer I delivered before. In fact, this is the third time I've done it. What makes this customer memorable, I don't know if you've seen any of my previous videos, I mentioned this is the customer that lives in the red barn. And it literally is a red barn. The very first time I delivered to this customer he was very understanding because I was in the next town and I picked up an order for him at a Mexican restaurant. I think I mentioned before, and they were having, they didn't have the dessert one, so he wanted a replacement. I told him, surprise me. But what's happened, if you remember, we had issues with the bridge. Well, they were doing maintenance on that bridge at that same time. So I had to go the alternate route, and it's a lot slower. And I kept informing him, hey, I'm going to have to go slower, and he understood and all that. And he mentioned that he was homebound because he had broke his leg. So eventually I finally got there and I delivered it, and he gave me a $5 tip. And it was like, took me 30 minutes from where I was, and he still gave me a $5 tip. I'll never forget that. And so that's why I remember. So I just delivered to him, and I left a quick message to him. So it was a pleasure delivering to him, and I told him I hope his leg is healing well. So well, the Red Barn and that first interaction I had with him was very memorable because it was such a long and tedious delivery, and so it's one of those things you never forget. So anyway, on to the back to base, or my secondary base. I'm going back to Jack's and see what happens. So hopefully I'll pick up another order real soon. So see you in a little bit. That's something you don't see every day. Car in front of me is advertising their OnlyFans page. That's a new one. Oh, another good sign. Just as I pulled in and parked in my secondary base, I got an order from Starbucks. And it's another one, the pay is higher than the mileage. So, yeah, things are looking up a little bit. So now I'm heading to the first base, my primary base. So, that's exciting. So, on the Starbucks. See you in a little bit. Oh, thank you. Well, I just delivered that Starbucks order, and just as I finished the completion on the app, I got another order to McDonald's. A small amount, but it's like $3, but it's only like 1 mile, so I took it. So, also, I got a reply from the customer, the one that lives in the Red Barn. I told him I told him I hope his leg was healing well, and he says he appreciates the sentiment, and he says it's not going as well as he thought, but it's slowly healing. It must have been a bad break, because the first time when I delivered, I saw him come out. He was on a walker, not on crutches, so it must have been a really bad. So I told him to hang in there, and he appreciate that. So yeah, interaction with your repeat customers, especially when you see something unique about it, something you remember. When they tell you they broke their leg, that's something you remember. So anyway, back to McDonald's and pick up that order. So things are a little better today so far, as far as the number of orders popping up real quick. So anyway, on to McDonald's. See you in a little bit. Well, that was a pleasant surprise. Delivered again to Daycare, that same location where I almost forgot the customer's double order. But this is like the third time in a couple days I've been there, and the lady who's the receptionist up front who always lets me in. The order was for her. So that was pleasant. Appreciate that, you know, little camaraderie. And just as I was completing her order, I picked up an order to the Papa something quesadilla place, which is actually Huddle House. So I mentioned that before. It's what Huddle House offers to online customers. They call it a stealth kitchen. So on to Papa something quesadillas, aka Huddle House. So see you in a little bit. Definitely out in the country, hearing the roosters. Strong, because I don't think they gave me one. Oh, yes, they did. Well, I just delivered that Papa something quesadilla order, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. In fact, it's so bad I don't even have internet connection out here. I have no cell signal, so the app won't me complete the order. But hopefully, once I get back closer, I can close out this order. I've got about another 20 minutes left on the dash. I'm hoping I can get back in time to pick up one more order. If not, then I will head home and give you a summary of this morning's dash.
Rate detected.
So, anyhow, oh, maybe I give him some signal. Let me try it again. And it's still not working. That's what happens, you know. You live in a small town that most of your deliveries is out rural. In fact, while I was delivering the food, you know, you can hear roosters, you know, going off. I said, yeah, definitely out in the country. So, anyway, heading back into town, hopefully to pick up another order. So, see you in a little bit. Well, luck is with me. Just as I got back into the zone, I got 10 minutes left in my DoorDash. I just picked up another order from Sonic. It's in breakfast. So that's where I'm heading to Sonic. So, see you in a little bit.
Welcome to Sonic. It's Mary. Can I help?
Yes, I'm here at DoorDash to pick up for...
I'm sorry, our app is not working and we're not getting any DoorDash or Uber Eats orders.
Your app is not working. Okay. Well, that sucked. that last order for Sonic that I got at the last minute before my dash was over, had to cancel. I got there and it said their system is not working and they're not accepting any more DoorDash orders. So I informed the customer that their system is down, and she says, okay, she's going to cancel the order. But of course, it's still assigned to me, so I try to call DoorDash support, and I swear the calling support has gotten worse. They're going through a computer system, and I tell it questions, it gets confused and all that. So I have more luck with the texting system, the chat system. Tell them just unassign me. The store could not complete the order. So anyway, that's it. My dash is over for this morning. It went pretty quick because, I was getting orders after order. So I'm going to head home and give you a summary of this morning's dash. So see you in a little bit. Well, I'm back home for the morning dash. This dash went pretty quickly because I kept getting order after order. I'm very busy and not too bad. It's on average that I've done for this week. I've made $33.57. Man, it would have been better if I had that last dash. That would have been an extra $10, that Sonic drive-in, but their system is down and they couldn't accept any DoorDash orders. I said, unfortunately, I said a wordy dirt on that. That's what my wife calls it. She's a teacher, and somebody said, when a child or a student says what is a dirty word? She says wordy dirt, and they all kind of look at her like that. So it's kind of an inside joke. So anyway, $33.57 and 6 deliveries. Total time is 2 hours and 41 minutes. So anyway, here, going to take a break, have some lunch, and I'll be back for the lunch dash. So see you in a little bit. Welcome back. I'm getting ready to start my lunch dash. Let's go ahead and get the app started. Let's see what happens. Do I get to ask the question? No. So, all right. So let's get started. Yeah, during my break, I did something I had earlier during the breakfast dash. I had talked to another dasher, and it was at Chick-fil-A, and she'd been doing this since 2019. So 6 years, and I think she does it part-time. And I kind of was curious and asked her, from recent videos I've seen about, how some DoorDashers are being eliminated because they claim it's fraud on from customers claiming they didn't get the food and whatnot. And so she heard about that, and she said that over the time, she gets the feeling she knows, what's going on. So she takes a lot of extra pictures. So when things do come up, and DoorDash says, hey, blah, 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 this is, under investigation, she sends them the extra pictures that she took, via email to help them determine who's causing the fraud. So that brings some minds to thought. But I also talked about, did she have any problems with customers? Because I explained my little dilemma with that belligerent customer and how I thought it was unfair. I was following the oh, look at there. Ugh. I'll take it, but that's a bad start. $3 for 12 miles, but I'm trying to up my acceptance here. But anyway, so I'm off to Little Caesars. But she said, yeah, belligerent customer. I told him that my experience was, I was following the DoorDash app. I delivered the food on time, but the gentleman still gave me a 1-star rating, and I even reported that customer to DoorDash, explaining how he was belligerent to me and cussed me out. And she said, well, and I've already reported to DoorDash about it, and so they'll mark him that I will never give him as a customer. So she said, well, you need to go to DoorDash and tell him, explain your situation, and have him remove that 1 star. So during the break I did. And guess what? They removed that 1 star. Because it looks real funny that I have like 76 5 stars and 1 1 star. And I have already reported. So I'm back to 5 stars. So I appreciate that. Yeah. So anyway, off to Little Caesars to that, pretty crappy order to start with, but beggars can't be choosers. So hopefully the future orders will be a lot better. So see you in a little bit. Ooh, look at that. Found me a penny. Any money on the ground, it's mine. Well, I just delivered that Little Caesars order. It's a small amount with a large distance, but and it was to a place that's in the middle of nowhere. Unfortunately, it's a little area with 4 mobile homes. They're run down. Not as bad as the one in the what I call the sad place, but again, not judging. You don't know what people's circumstances are and how they came to be, but you just want to have empathy for them and pray for them. Met a young mother with a child, of course, a dog. But I find out 9 times out of 10, people like that are probably they're the nicest people in the world. Salt of the earth. They're just getting by as best they can and handling the situations that they've been handed. So just pray for those folks and hope their future is brighter. So anyway, heading back to base, and hopefully I'll pick up another order real soon. See you in a little bit. I come back because another thought came to mind, and this is one of the lessons that I learned from my dad, and I heard from other people about my dad after he passed. And that is, you treat everybody the same. I'm doing this as a business, and all my customers, I treat them exactly the same. I don't care if you're the richest person or the poorest person. I don't care if you're white, black, or pink with purple polka dots. You have to treat everybody the same with courtesy and dignity. That's important because you want to give, no matter who it is, you want them to feel good about what they've done, what they ordered. It's just common courtesy. The same way, present yourself to anybody. It's common courtesy. That just brought this scenario just now came to mind. So anyway, off to the next order. So hopefully I pick one up. So see you in a little bit. Well, I just picked up the Chick-fil-A order, and it was that they came to me and asked me if I lost the towel, and I didn't realize I lost it, but sure enough, I did. And they said they found I have gray towels that I use to stuff into my bag to keep the food warm and keep the drinks from tipping over. Sure enough, but they remembered me, and I got my towel back. So that was nice of them. I really appreciate that. It's just cheap Walmart towel, but still the gesture of the Chick-fil-A employees to find it and remind me, because I had to take towels out and put food in, and what happened is one of the towels slipped behind the counter. So anyway, well, I'm off to deliver the Chick-fil-A, so I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just got back to the station right before I was getting ready to park. Picked up an order from Wingstop. So things are looking good. So here we go, on the Wingstop. See you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that Wingstop. It was a unique scenario. These some of these houses in this neighborhood, it's a very nice neighborhood. It's right on the lake. Some of the houses, I think they're smaller townhomes. Not really townhomes because they're individual. They're not attached to each other. But they have a front end, like a front door and all that. But your driveway is in the back of the house. So all the house numbers are on the front, but there's no house numbers in the back. And I was lucky that the customer was out in the back waiting. And she says, the garages doors are in the back of the house. It makes it convenient because right next to right next to the garage is the kitchen. So, for example, she has Walmart deliver groceries and have it right there instead of having to pick it up from the front and dragging the groceries through the house. So, next time I come to this neighborhood often, I gotta remember, if I see that style house, this is the neighbor. This is right next to the belligerent customer. He's right over there. Well, I've been traveling down the gauntlet and almost made it to my main base, and I just picked up a order from Burger King. But it's a big one, $15, but it's 15 miles, but I'm gonna take it. So, waiting here in the long red light. Come on, folks. Yeah, thank you. So, anyway, heading to Burger King. We'll see you in a little bit. Well, folks, I'm approaching the bridge that's been out for a few days. Rumor has it, according to Facebook and all that they finished the repair work ahead of time. So maybe it's true, because there sure is a lot of traffic coming across that bridge that would have been closed, at least one lane. So as we approach it, so is it true? Getting close. I don't see cones. I don't see anything. All I see is traffic on both lanes. It looks like the bridge is open. Woo! No more going the alternate route, which is a good thing, because I saw recently the route that I came up with for me to come back to my home bases in the north end of the gauntlet. Come to find out that was a secret no longer, because everybody else found out about that secret route and started using it, and it was blocking up traffic on that way. So, but lucky for me, past few days I hadn't come out here on dashing. This is actually my first order coming out here over to the interstate, crossing the bridge. So that's good news. So anyway, continue on to the customer. We'll see you in a little bit. Wow. I just dropped off that Burger King. It was a little distance, but there was a lady standing out front. I thought it was a customer, but she was on the phone and she was dog cussing somebody about complaining about the bus driver and how he did something, whatever, and her child, blah, blah, And then, and then she's complaining about the bus. She's gonna report the bus driver, or something about the child had some candy or wiped it on the bus seat and then gave it to another child or whatever. And then I said, okay, maybe the bus driver, was having an issue. But then right away she started saying, well, now I gotta go pick up some because he's in detention. I said, ooh. Don't think that that kid's model student. Just my opinion. So anyway, I'm heading back, and hopefully, maybe since I'm out here, I'm about to go back into the zone. I'm on the extreme eastern edge of the zone. Now I'm back in the zone. Maybe I can pick up an order around here before I head back to my regular area. So keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully we get an order here real soon. So see you in a little bit. Well, I hit the jackpot, sort of speaking. I did pick up an order. So it's the local McDonald's here. So hopefully, well, I got in the wrong lane here. Crud. Oh well. So yeah, local McDonald's here. So I'm going to pick up an order here and go to a local area customer around here. So good thing. So we'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that McDonald's orders, and just as I delivered it, another order popped up. This time for Jack's out here in this area. I've been to that Jack's a couple times. It's a small order, about a little over $3 and 6 miles. But like I said, since I'm out here, start picking up some orders out here to make it worth my while to be out here. So anyway, heading to the local Jack's. See you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that Jack's order, so now I'm gonna make my way back to home base. I'm real close to one of the exits that's near the bridge, and head on back. So hopefully pick up an order when I get there. So in the meantime, see you in a little bit. I'm heading back to home base, and we're about to cross over the bridge that's been repaired. In fact, I'm in the lane that was blocked while they're doing the repair. And what was happened was they had a metal plate over the damaged area of the bridge for a long time, and a lot of people were avoiding, especially trucks, because not only was the metal plate there, but there were these bolts holding the plate down to the road surface, you know, add a little extra oomph as you cross the plate. So let's see what this thing looks like. Oh, that's a nice RV bus past us. Next, oh, that looks like they're going to do some more road work. So here we are. It looks like they patched it up nicely there. Smooth. All right, well, cool. All right, so head back to home base. We'll see you in a little bit. Well, that was almost a near disaster. Had an order pop up, and I could have swore it said Wingstop. but it was Whataburger. But never fail. They're right next. They're practically right next to each other. So man, I must be tired. Reading that wrong. Well, they're both start with W. So anyway, I got the order, and I'm on the way to the customer. So, whew, that was close. All right, see you in a little bit. Well, that was a pleasant surprise. Oh, and I'm next to B's Grill too. If y'all remember from previous videos that I talked about the house that I delivered, very first house delivered when I got this camera, the portable camera. And then I went there again, I think yesterday or the day before. Well, I just went there again, but this time the owner was there, and I got to meet the owner, and very nice guy. He works, oh my God, third shift, 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. at a manufacturing area around here. So, oh my God. So, wow, that's tough. Third shift must be tough. Hopefully he gets paid more on third shift than the other shifts. So anyway, I have now 8 minutes left in the dash. So I'm going to head back up there towards my gauntlet area, my home base, so to speak, and see if I can get one more order before I call it the end of the day. So either way, I'll get an order or I'll head home. So see you in a little bit. Just as I signed off, I got an order. I got an order to a unique sweet shop that's in downtown. So I gotta make a loop to head that way because I don't want to go across traffic here. But
In a quarter mile, turn right onto 20.
so yeah, I'll take that order. So yeah, it's downtown. I've been there once before because they make little homemade pizzas, and of course they have, it's like a candy soda fountain shop, old style, where they have sweets and stuff like that. So that's where I'm heading. So that will definitely be my last dash. So anyhow, well, I will see you in a little bit. It does not match. I guess it does. Well, I delivered it from the sweet shop, which actually was a small pizza, and where I delivered to is a gated community. It is very nice, very pretty. It's right on the lake, and the gated community looks like a little condos, bigger ones, and they got small ones right here, but they have their own pool. Very nice. Very secluded. A couple more places over there. They're not quite on the waterfront, but they got, looks like a waterfront all around the area, or access to water. So very nice. Oh, need to back up. Gate swings this way. Almost hit me instead of swinging out. So anyway, that is the end of my dash. I'm going to head on home and give a brief summary of how I did today. So anyway, I will see you in a little bit. Well, I'm home now. It's been a very interesting day, and looking over the summary, I didn't realize I took 10 deliveries. I think that's the most I've ever done on a dash. And of those 10 deliveries, I made a total of $61.69 for a total dash time of 4 hours and 25 minutes. So yeah, that's very interesting. So, but I didn't quite make $100 today, and for the week I didn't quite make $400. I made over $350. I made $370.01. I usually take a day off in the week, and tomorrow I'm taking the day off because I got run some errands. I'm trying to get the roof on my parents' house replaced, and they're coming out for an inspection. And that's early in the morning. But if things work out, I might do an afternoon dash, like a lunch dash again tomorrow, just to see if I can get over that 400. But we'll see. And anyway, whether I do that or not, I appreciate you coming with me and seeing all my adventures or misadventures. I almost had a disaster today. So if you like the video, please select like on the video. And if you enjoy what I'm doing here, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and let me help me build the channel up. So either way, I will see what happens tomorrow, if I dash or not. If not, I'll let y'all know. I'll post it. But in the meantime, if not, y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week. Good night. Bye.